Hi, this is the Rusted Willow, and my name is Tammy, and today is Third Thursday Thrift Flips, so let's get started. I have some great thrift flips for you. Now, I went thrifting. We were in Oklahoma and on our way to Guyman, Oklahoma, and we stopped at a thrift store. I think it was in Liberal. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I picked these up because I love making these over. These are lanterns. They did come with the tops. I just removed the tops, removed that little plug. That is so you can transport the lantern with kerosene in it. Excuse me. I took a razor blade and cleaned off all the stickers. I cleaned the glass with glass cleaner, and we're going to make these into vases. That's what I like to do. Now, I found these two small matching kerosene lanterns for $4 each. I was so excited. They were clean. They do have a little bit of residue inside of the body of the kerosene lantern, but that can be easily cleaned out. Now, I did not take the time to clean them out for this video, but I will take them and soak them in Dawn dish soap later on. So I was just showing you that I did get these cleaned up. This is a super easy flip. And then I have those tops to other lanterns if I want them. So now I'm taking these flowers, these bouquets that I got very, very cheap off of Temu a while ago. And I'm going to use those to put in these lanterns. And I'm making them very shabby chic. Now, the bouquets are a little bit taller than the lanterns, and that's not the look I'm going for. So I have to cut these down. Okay, so once I get these cut down, I just arrange them inside the lantern, as you see me doing here. And then I decide they're not shabby chic enough for me. So I love these bouquets. They're very, very beautiful. They come from Temu. They were probably $2 or $3 a piece. I'm not really sure. I'm sure they were super cheap. And then I also have these headbands. They're baby headbands. So then I just twist one around and I add that to the tops of the lanterns, and then I put the flowers back in and call it a day. These turn out gorgeous. I love how they look. So you don't always have to use ribbon. You can use headbands. You can use all kinds of stuff to decorate your lanterns, your vases, anything that you are displaying. Just, you got to think outside the box sometimes. So let me know what you think about this first thrift flip. This week is Third Thursday Thrift Flips. Marika and I host this every other month on the third Thursday of the month. Marika's channel is Marika's Creations. Now, if you have not gone over and visited her channel, please do so because you are missing out on some crazy creativity. She is so creative. I am not even kidding. I just love her channel and I love watching what she's going to come up with next. She's always surprising me. So, okay, let's get started on this next DIY. Now, this one's going to be a long one, guys, so I hope you hang with me. But, man, the end product, oh, I think it's totally worth it. So, we are redoing this book stack. I had it in my booth for a while. It didn't sell. So, now I am re-upcycling it. Okay. I am using my parchment by Fusion, and I'm just going over the front, back, sides, top, and bottom, all over these books. Now, this green, I think it must have been green marker, but it still wants to come through a little bit, and I put a couple coats on there, and it still wants to come through, and that's fine. Bleed through. It's fine. It doesn't really bother me, and the end product, it's totally fine. I'm making this very shabby chic, and it's going to be a little over the top, not what you're used to seeing from me, but that is okay. So I hope you like this. It's a little different, but I really love how it turned out. So now I'm using this, I think it's Dixie Belle Slick Conch pink color. I'm not sure what it's called. Anyway, it's a Dixie Belle color. Somebody at my antique mall had their Dixie Belle 40% off, and I am going to purchase that all day long, just to have some different shades of color in my arsenal, in my painting arsenal. Not that I need any more paint by any means, because I have a buttload. Anyway, okay, enough about that. Now I'm going to be using my IOD molds. Oh my gosh, guys, look, I just want you to know that I'm using my stash. I am using the products that I purchased. You can tell that these are brand spanking new. I have not used them before. And I'm trying to do better at, if I purchase it, use it. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. I'm not just hoarding it. So I am using the Sculpty DIY clay, Sculpty air dry clay. Sorry, not DIY clay. It's Sculpty air dry clay. I just picked some up somewhere. I don't know, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, something. And I am using it on this Frames IOD mold. And it works just fine. I don't know that you have to use IOD clay. I don't know that you have to use any certain type of clay. I'm sure there's some that's better than others, but I am not the expert on that, so I can't speak to which clay is better than the others. I know that the paper clay seems to crack more than the Sculpty clay. I thought the Sculpty clay did just fine. I didn't notice a bunch of cracking in it when it dried. But I will point out something that I did notice. So when we get there. All right. So I'm just making these molds just like you do. And I love these IOD molds because of the micro rim. Now, is that necessary? No. I have other molds too, by redesigned by Prima molds, and they work just fine as well. So now I am using my Ultra Grip Type Bond Ultra Grip or Type Bond Ultimate wood glue to glue these down on the top of the book stack. And I'm just spreading it around with my finger, and then I am centering it up the best I can, and I'm just eyeballing it really. And then I clean up the edges with my fingertips just because I don't want any of that glue showing. And I just press it down real easy. You want to be real easy because you don't want to lose your shape and you don't want to lose your detail. And there is a lot of detail in these little frames. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And we're off to a good start. I love how this looks. So, and now I am just making some butterflies for embellishments. And as you can see, I haven't used this one before either. Oh, wait, maybe I have. Yes, I have. I used this when I did the anthropology video, which you all loved. I'm going to have to do some more of that stuff. That's actually why I bought more molds, because I loved doing that anthropology-inspired furniture, and I have more stuff to do. So stay tuned for that. I just have to get the time. Find the time. All right, so I make the, and now, as you noticed, I did dust the first mold with cornstarch. I did not dust the butterflies with cornstarch because they're a smaller mold, and when you dust with cornstarch, I find that you have a hard time getting the clay to go in there. And these worked out just fine. I just rolled the mold back and they popped out perfectly. They didn't tear, they didn't mess up. I mean, they came out perfectly without the cornstarch. So just at your own discretion, use it when you need it. So now I'm just figuring out placement of the butterflies, doing the same process with the glue. And now since these are going on the side, I press them in pretty good, but you just have to be careful. Don't press so hard that you lose your detail. And this butterfly I bring up over the top of the edge of the books. And that's what they looked like. Okay, so now I am making a labels mold. And I'm not sure what this mold is called, but it is IOD. Just figuring out placement, doing the same process. You probably didn't need to see this 10,000 times. And now I'm showing you the colors that I am using for this book stack. I'm using Rosewater, Mist, Little Whale, and Champness. Now on the butterflies, I start out with Mist. This is a beautiful, beautiful pale purple lilac-y color. Lilac-y, is that a word? Probably not. But I start out with this color on all the butterflies, and there are lots of layers to this paint job. I try not to bore you with all of it. That's why it is sped up quite a bit. And one thing I just want to caution you is just make sure that you get the edges of the butterflies. Now, I let this book stack sit and dry overnight. It actually dried for several days before I could get back to it. And the corners, when they dried, they kind of curled up, as you can see, like that one upper right-hand corner. It curled up and it kind of ripped the page a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to cover that up. I just was not expecting it to curl up like that. So that was unexpected. It didn't crack or anything, but it curled up. So yeah, there you go. But that's okay. I mean, we can cover that up. Not a big deal. I just wasn't expecting it. So now I'm just going around the edges with some more of this Rosewater by Fusion. All these paints are by Fusion. Did I say that? I don't think I did. I love that Rosewater color. Beautiful, beautiful pink color. And then this is Champness, the color Champness, I believe. Actually, no, I think that's a different color. Well, it's got to be, because that's the only colors I have sitting out, so I'm not sure. Yes, it is Champness. And this is a beautiful color too. I love how it pops off the pink. And now I use a little detail brush to get into all the little crevices, and you have to kind of look at it from every angle because there's so much detail in these frames molds that there's a lot of little nooks and crannies. Now these brushes, guys, I got at Hobby Lobby. They were like 90% off. So some of them I got for $1.49. Some of them I got for $2.49. I got a whole bunch of brushes, and yeah, I love them. So now I am using this Fusion Metallics Champagne color just to kind of give it some shimmer, because I want that shimmer and I don't want to add glitter. So this actually works perfectly. I love how it looks, and I'm going to be using this a lot more, especially on the inner frame, that little cameo part. I think it looks like a cameo to me. It added so much shimmer, and on the label side, it added a lot of shimmer as well. So then I'm just going over this whole thing with clear wax, because I just want to seal it all in, make sure it's all dry. And you can see around the butterflies, I did not just leave them the mist color. I went around the edges of the leaves in the champness, and oh my goodness, talk about dimension. Oh, so beautiful. It turns out so gorgeous. And now I'm using this antiquing glaze from Fusion. And I start very, very light, and then I decide, okay, come on now, let's give it some, dirty it up a little bit, because we need to give it some age to it. So I love how this turns out. And see, you can see the rose water in the middle. I have mist, I have champness, all the colors on those butterflies. And it turns out, oh gosh, they just look gorgeous. So let me know what you think about this one. We are not done yet, though. We got quite a few more steps to go. I did want some more of that, aged look around the butterflies and just around the label, just, you know, where it would age naturally. So just kind of darkening it up there. And then I'm drying it. And now I'm going to add some embellishments. So now it's time to just go crazy with your imagination and creativity. So I have this bag of just embellishments, and it was sitting on my desk, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to dig through here. Well, I found these beads. They are sticky pearls, and I just started adding them to the sides of the book, the sides of the book. And I love how that looks. I think that looks so sweet. And I was going to add words on the label, but I just couldn't decide what word to add there. So I just didn't. I decided I liked it how it was. And then I'm cutting down this little deer's ear, I think is what it's called. You know, those fuzzy little leaves. I love that greenery because I think it just adds an element of elegance. I think it really elevates your projects. I love those, that greenery. So, and I'm adding these wood flowers from Solo Wood Flowers, and then another little tiny rose just because I needed to fill a space there. And then I'm cutting down this other scrap of greenery, which I just literally have greenery laying around my room. And I'm adding some more little rosettes at the bottom. And that is where the corners kind of, when they dried, they curled up. So I'm trying to camouflage that. Now the other rips and tears on the front or the back of the pages, I don't really care about because I think that just adds to the aged look. So you're going to have to let me know what you think. And then this ripped gauze ribbon I got from, or frayed, I guess it's the edges are frayed, I got from Temu, and I love it. It is so pretty. And I wanted to add that too. So I put that under the roses after I already glued them down. So I just started finding things and I'm like, oh, I want to add that. Oh, I want to add that. So kind of, I guess if you don't want to do as I do, but do as I say, you know, think about your layering and how you want to do that. So you're not like tearing things up, because I took things off and put things back on a lot during this project just because I wasn't happy with the way it looked, or I needed, you know, some more layers, or I wanted it to look a little bit more shabby chic. Anyway, so when you're creating, you know, you start out in one direction and you end up going in a complete opposite direction. And look, I finally brought out my fabric scissors to cut that because no other scissors would cut it. So then I decided, okay, I'm going to add this to the side because they really don't need to open up the pages. It's really just for pretty. and I glued most of the pages together anyway, but I wanted to finish off the edge, so I did fold down the edges. And then I'm going to add this sticky lace ribbon that I found in my bag of goodies, and I added that to there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this just looks so beautiful. So you're gonna have to tell me, do you think this is too much? Do you think it's just right? I love how it turned out. I really do love it. I add some more pearls. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I rip stuff off, add more stuff, put it back together. Anyway, and here it is, the finished product. Oh my gosh, is that not gorgeous? Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, you're going to have to seriously let me know what you think, because I am in love with this. All right, on to the last DIY. Okay, so this is a vase or pottery. I don't know. I've had it probably in my stash for 2 years. It has been spray painted black and clear coated for quite some time, and just waiting for me to make it over. So I am starting to pick stuff up off my craft room floor and going to get it done. I need to get it done and flipped and out of here. So we are going in with this beautiful green color, one of my favorite greens from Fusion, Carriage House. And I'm not going to have you watch me paint the whole thing, but I do give it 2 good coats of Carriage House. And I was only going to go over it one time, but honestly, the first time gave it such a good coverage. I'm like, well, might as well just do 2. And then I was going to distress it back, and then I thought, no, it's fine. I'm going to leave it as it is. Now, I might go ahead and distress it back later, but let's go ahead and check out the finished product once we get there. All right, so now I picked up a bunch of Dixie Belle transfers. If you watch Kathy Jo over on Kathy Jo's DIYs, she gave you all a little tip that they were having a sale. They were selling all their transfers for $10. $10. So if you know how much the IOD transfers are, you know that $10 is a steal. So I went onto their website and I purchased some transfers. Why did I do that? Because I have some IOD transfers in my hoard. I don't know. I'm going to save the IOD ones and I'm going to use the Dixie Belle ones. Does that make sense to you all? I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, I can use the $10 ones and save the expensive ones. Anyway, I don't know. A hoarder's mentality is puzzling. I don't know how else to say it. It's just puzzling to me why I would do that. But anyway, that was my thinking. I'm going to use these $10 ones. So I'm going to buy them and use them, but I'm going to keep my IOD ones. Anyway, okay. So I was showing you that this came with 4 huge sheets of transfers. They're beautiful transfers and they're very vibrant in color. Now to put them on this rounded surface, I cut little slits on the side and then I just start burnishing the transfer down. They release very, very easy. As you can see, it turns milky there, like see-through. That's when you know your transfer has been transferred onto the actual item that you're transferring. So then I just kind of go over it all and it releases pretty easy. I take my time around the edges or around the curves, so you can see that I'm kind of taking my time there, making sure that it's down, and then I pull it up a little bit. I like to rub it down with a stick and then pull it up and then see where I need to rub some more. If it doesn't come off the first time, you know, just lay it back down and rub some more and it will come off. But it released pretty darn easy. Now, I did not seal this paint before I started putting the transfers on. I just painted it and started adding transfers. And I go around the whole thing with different colors of flowers and butterflies. And isn't that flower just gorgeous? I mean, it comes off, it looks beautiful on this vase. Or maybe it's called an urn. I don't know. It reminds me one of those Egyptian pottery things that they would put on their head and carry water in. Anyway, I think this turns out gorgeous and I love it. And I didn't want to use all my flowers on this, but I did use quite a few. And I just started at the bottom to make sure that it looked like the pot was either sitting in flowers or the flowers were growing up around it. And I loved the butterflies. They're so, so pretty. So vibrant in color. So let me know, did you guys pick you up some $10 transfers from Dixie Belle when they were having their sale or not? I hope you did not miss out on that. But then again, if you have a stash of other transfers, did you need more? Probably not. But if you're anything like me, you're not going to pass up a sale. Kathy Jo said sale, and I was like, oop, I'm all over it. So I did get a few others, and you'll be seeing those coming up in some later videos. So as you can see, I'm just cutting slits around this. I do like to cut my transfers closer to the actual design. And then if it's on a curved surface, I go ahead and put little slits on the side so that it will mold itself to the actual rounded object. And then you just take your little stick and continue to rub. And I like to rub and then pull up and then rub and pull up, because sometimes you'll be rubbing and it's not necessary. It's already adhered. You just need to pull up your carrier sheet. And then I burnish it down with the carrier sheet after I get it all adhered to the item. And I also go over it with my hands. I just kind of rub it down all over just to make sure that it's adhered with my hands too. So now I am taking this clear wax by Fusion and I'm going all over this, we're going to call it an urn. Look at that blue butterfly. Is that not gorgeous? Maybe it's purple. Oh my gosh, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And I like this clear wax because it does not change the color of the paint. So I still have that beautiful carriage house color and it does not change the color of the paint. So then after I go over it with the clear wax, I go over it with the liming wax. This is Fusion liming wax. Now, it's like white wax, but not as vibrant as white wax. It makes it look like it's been calcified, kind of like there's calcium deposits. So let me know what you think about this one. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. If you have not subscribed yet, please go and hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And also make sure to check that you're still subscribed if you were already subscribed, because YouTube has been unsubscribing people lately. And so I just want you to double check that. And don't forget to check out the playlist, our Third Thursday Thrift Flip playlist that Marika and I host every other month on the third Thursday of the month. And make sure to go over and say hello to Marika and let her know that Tammy sent you. And here is the final reveal. So let me know what you think. I am in love with the book stack. I think that is my favorite, even though I love the lanterns and they were super, super simple. Like anybody could do that. You can go with any flowers, whatever matches your theme. And I love the hair bow. I love the hair bow. So can I tell you those are my grandbaby's hair bows? They'll get them back, I promise. But I love it. I even added a little touch of black on there. It was a broken little brooch that I had, and I could cut it easily down with scissors. And I cut it down and just added it for just an extra added something. And I love it. I also love the transfers on this urn. It looks beautiful I love the butterflies so much. I feel like it needs a little bit more greenery, so I might go back in and add some more. But let me know what you think. I want to thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Bye, guys.